And why don't we start again, Robert, could you introduce in 30 seconds the background about your company and your wholesale business?
Hello, my name is Robert Paszkiewicz. I represent ATM. ATM is a telecommunications operator as well as data center operator, the biggest one in Poland. So we are focused on these two businesses. We have data centers and Warsaw and Katowice and whole country network. Thank you.
Andrzej Szczepna, I'm responsible in EXATEL for corporate and wholesale business. Well, EXATEL is a specific niche player because we are in a certain selected areas, public sector, corporate sector, wholesale, for voice and data. And because of this, it's, we are not able to grow through mergers, acquisitions, and all this non-business typical business types of activity. We have to find our specific position on the telecom market, which maybe I can elaborate later.
Jarosław Starczewski. I'm representing POLSKA. I'm responsible for the wholesale department, which is related with domestic and international business. And I can tell you that I'm sitting in the middle, so I just want to tell you that I'm representing the biggest operator in Poland. So I'm very glad that I'm the middleman here, so I can join all the interest from the left to the right, to the right to the left. So from that perspective, I'm very glad for that. But not only for the domestic market, but I hope we will also connect the other operators in the CEE region in Europe. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Robert Staniszewski. I'm representing POMKOMTEL, which is Plus GSM network, one of the four mobile operators in Poland. I'm responsible for wholesale business. Practically, POMKOMTEL is active player in domestic market in terms of interconnection, in terms of MVNO business. We are also active in international business, cooperating with few international carriers, as well as on international roaming market. Of course, we are active on Polish market in terms of access to passive infrastructure.
Aureliusz Bochniak. I'm responsible for domestic wholesale sales within T-Mobile Polska. We are pretty active recently on the wholesale market as well. Recently, we also strengthened our position based on the integration of GTS Poland. So the common team generally represents all the possible global services that can serve local but also international wholesale providers and customers.
Great. Thank you, gentlemen. So you heard my very brief introduction where I'm sort of highlighting some key factors like the gradual decline in the retail voice market and the shift toward data services. I wonder to what extent do you see these factors to be significant in your wholesale businesses? Could we start maybe at this end? And then please, we'll jump in as we go.
Actually, from the wholesale perspective, I don't see personally any negative trends in the wholesale voice market. First of all, probably the next year we can expect another regulation step of the international roaming market, which will provide a significant volume of allowances to the end customers. Generally, it would mean that all the customers would be able to make some calls and use the data abroad. And also this traffic will need to be served internationally because usually they are coming home. So based on Polish statistics, where the average customer is using really a few number of minutes of outgoing and incoming calls, I believe that the next and the following of general international traffic. So the wholesale market should definitely benefit out of this. And second of all, I believe that there is within among European Union operators that trend that the market regulation or ATR regulation, usually interpretation is that this is addressing only the traffic that is being terminated from the customers within the European Union. It will mean diversification of termination rates of operators, and also the increased significance of the termination of the, or maybe rating the traffic based on the A numbers. And also it will drive the revenue up.
Yes, John, you were right that voice is declining, but still constitutes the majority of especially mobile operators' business. And the same is in wholesale. We see that the NTR reductions and international roaming regulation cause that the revenues of operators, wholesale revenues decline. But on the other end, the growing mobile penetration and lower retail and wholesale rates costs growth of Polish minutes coming to Polish networks, as well as regulations and roaming, international roaming area cost also that the number of minutes and number of traffic is growing. So this is the, let's say, some of the water effect, but of course still revenues decline, yes? So this is first thing. Second thing is that we are living in, let's say, quite regulated area. So we observe that MTR's differences between countries in European Union still are large. And we see that MTRs outside European Union are heavily, larger than in European Union. So this is the, let's say, the issue that regulators and business should touch is we should, as we are talking about, let's say, single European market, we should also take into account that the differences in terms of wholesale rates are different. So operators and regulators and business should quite, let's say, look at this. Another issue is that we see that mobile data is growing. We see that Polish mobile Polish internet penetration in Poland is quite high in terms of households, but still, let's say, about 60% of population does not have access to, let's say, broadband internet. So we see that mobile internet should, meet these demands, and we see that growing LTE penetration in Poland should, meet this needs and should increase this, let's say, lags. And we see that this is in our opinion, some opportunity for mobile operators to have this revenues coming later. Thank you.
So from Orange's perspective, you've been hearing a bit about the mobile perspective. You have both mobile and fixed line and the largest fixed line infrastructure. So I wonder, what is your perspective? What is maybe keeping you you up at night in terms of looking at the wholesale market?
I will separate this answer for let's say parts. First of all, I would like to confirm that we observe already the kind of process like declining FTRs and NTRs, according to my previous colleagues, which are mentioning only NTRs because they are focusing only on the mobile networks. I'm also thinking about the fixed networks. So from that perspective, we observe this declining is so rapidly. But on the other hand, we saw in the market demand, then we launched a lot of unlimited offer. At the same time, according to this offer, which was implemented not only in our operator, but also in the whole market, we observed that the traffic growth was significant. So from that perspective, we can somehow compensate. Maybe not compensate according to the margin, but according to the revenue, we can make some additional deals. Because from that perspective, we are also working in the international market, so we can compensate this, let's say, losses on the retail side, the wholesale side. So from that perspective, this is also promising. On the other side, I can tell you that I have some constraints to understand properly international roaming, this new regulation which is coming, because this is not so clear from my side so far, because we don't know exactly what will gonna happen, in the future. And as was mentioned by my colleagues before, this is a very important issue which we have to, let's say, solve together, because the kind of, let's say, declaration from the European Commission is not so, it's not predictable, So from that perspective, we observe that kind of small risk on that side. So this is an additional topic which is, which is appearing in my mind, during the night. So the third thing is the discussion regarding distinguishing an A number, origination number from not EU countries, because this European regulation is very important from our perspective. And I was also surprised why we are going down so quickly according to FTRs and NTRs, because from the other perspective, I don't understand, I don't know why we should pay 10 times higher rates to Belarus, to Russia, to other countries, let's say, for the east of our world. And if they are calling to our networks, they are paying 10 times less. So from that perspective, thanks to our, let's say, representative in the European Commission, we can see that they are, well informed so far. But the milk is outside our gas. So from that perspective, this is difficult, to maintain the process. Today you can see some initiatives that, okay, we will be so kind to just distinguish the numbers, so we will be also obliged to, let's say, have a regulated offer for the European countries, but outside Europe we can use additional rates, additional settlements. So from that perspective, this is very difficult, because most of the operators, especially in Poland, are absolutely focused in this subject, but mostly in the mobile side, not in the FTR side. Because in the mobile situation, we have absolutely the proper situation, so we have all symmetry. In Polish market and fixed market, we have asymmetry, still asymmetry. So if we're gonna distinguish a number and we will try to terminate in our network, we have to also distinguish destination network to which we have to terminate. So it will make a lot of problems with the settlements, IT systems, and we have to remember that this work is difficult every day. So we can see also some unexpected maybe behavior on our, let's say, small players, which is trying to make some progress. So from that perspective, we can also can see that kind of situation in Poland. From my experience, then we have some kind of operators which is changing the number. So they are getting international number and they are changing, replacing the number to the domestic one, for example, and they are getting better conditions, better rates to terminate the traffic. So from my perspective, that kind of behavior, an absolutely illegal one, absolutely unacceptable one, can be also implemented in Europe, not only in Poland, but in whole Europe. So somebody will be able to get the traffic from Asia, from America, and they will replace the A number, and they will try to make some additional settlements and generate additional profit. So from that perspective, it's too complicated for me. So we have to once again sit down together and just find out the way how we want to distinguish that kind of traffic and how we want to cooperate, because this is very difficult from my perspective. And regarding the data, I hope I will have a chance to later on elaborate on that.
Great, thank you. So this MTR issue is a significant one, I think, for everyone. I'd just like to follow up on that before I turn to you at the end. I'd like to follow up on the MTR issue. Does anyone else have a different view on the MTR situation? Or was that sort of nicely summarized for everyone's perspective? I felt it was a nice summary, but I wonder if anyone disagrees.
Yeah, well, I can elaborate a bit about the wholesale voice business, so I probably have a different perspective than my colleagues here, who are from mobile operators. Absolutely, yeah, because I heard from you good and bad news. Yeah, the bad news is, of course, the voice is declining, and the good news for me is that it's declining in retail. Yeah, I'm not in retail, so I know that voice is still in the core. Voice is in the core because regardless of the technology so far, whether it's the voice over TDM, voice over IP, voice over 3G, voice over VoLTE, that is going probably will be the another technology, the mobile networks, the edge technology. The voice is there. Why the voice is there? Let's get back to the business model, right? The business model is the same route, which is pay per minute model. That's why your nice pictures that you showed there are still so tasty, yeah? Because I think that regardless of the size, I'm from real wholesale. The retail operators, we are much stronger to generate this traffic, but still defending pay per minute model is something which makes the results still looking good. This is my first impression. What are the threats? Of course, there is a threat of over-regulation. That's why I want to transit slightly towards the MTR issue. Why there's the differentiation, this action of differentiating the MTRs? The action is because the Europe is over-regulated. Yeah. This is a long time ago when the retail rates are far away from wholesale rates and the regulation of wholesale rates. Which means it's very simple, that now the European Union operators just subsidize the rest of the world. That's quite obvious, yeah? Okay, if we have money in Europe, we can subsidize, that's okay, yeah? But I see that some operators said, come on, we still have pressure on developing new technologies and putting money in these edge technologies, in these VoLTE, everything I mentioned, and my colleagues know much better than me. So that's why we have to get money from this. It's not burdening our customers because retail packages, retail tariffs are still covering everything. Yeah? But we don't want to subsidize the transit traffic when it goes between the countries. And especially now, of course, because of all these movements, immigration, and the traffic goes from European Union, usually outside, to the other regions. And these regions deliberately, and we see this, raise the rates. It's quite visible that this model cannot work, especially that we have, in order to have this nice figures, defend the pay per minute model, regardless of the edge technology, as I mentioned. The point is that the cost, which is good thing. The good thing is the cost of transit, terminal cost of transit take 1 minute. In the network, approximates to zero. That's the live data. Yeah. If you want to send another minute, now the cost over voice over IP is, you can say zero. It's no big mistake, which is good. Which means that in fact, in this business model of transiting, of cooperating, this is the real the tasty part which we can have. And let me mention one thing, because I think that there are real threats, which are the real threats. OTT, for example, communicators. It's long war, sort of war of operators, but this wall, behind this wall, there's a real business. These are real business objectives, because this is real transition towards data work. And in this case, the voice wholesale business will be ruined very quickly. That's my position.
Okay, thank you. Now, Robert, I'd like to turn to you. And your company has quite a different sort of orientation, focused more on data centers. Could you maybe tell us? You have a different perspective. What keeps you up at night? Perhaps you sleep very soundly when thinking about the voice business, but it's the data side that's
Yeah, that's true. Our situation is a little bit different from my colleagues because we are selling only B2B. We're not selling to retail, so we don't have real end customers. Rather, our customers that use our network, so renting like fibers from us or data transmission, they're using those services for the telecommunications services. But even in our perspective, voice is growing right now as we have also ISDN and VoIP services. What's very important from our side that customers needs to get all services from one customer. So we are delivering to the buildings, for example, all internet, voice, connectivity to the data center, the possibility to put their servers or rent servers from our facilities together. It means that they have all services from one company with one invoice with a good quality and good service. That's the point from our perspective regarding the voice. But as you said, the data is growing and people use the mobile devices, laptops, tablets, etc. to generate more content. It means that our network is also growing and our customers are still asking us to get more traffic to increase their pipes. So I think that the voice and the technology is still growing, and maybe traditional voice will be going down, but in case of fact that we are using internet everywhere right now, so it will be growing and growing. So we have almost every month the question that someone would like to connect, for example, new BTSs, and we are asked to build maybe new last mile to that, to increase our network. It means that this business is growing, but from our perspective, we are not earning on the end customer, but we are earning on our customer that delivers the voice services to end customers.
Great, thank you. So I'd like to take a moment to see if there's any questions from the audience. If you have any questions you'd like to raise your hand. Okay, I'll let you think about that for another few minutes. I'd like to turn now to the to sort of looking at the new opportunities. So I think we've kind of covered sort of the core of the business, but I'd like to ask you where you think the business is going in terms of new opportunities, or perhaps will for the same in